Hello and welcome back to MFAC Coaching. Today, for the first time, I'm going to do a video where I not only show you how I decorate my Silk and Sonder, but also throughout the week, how I fill it out. So it's my first time doing one of these videos, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you for your patience in advance, and I hope you enjoy. So the first part of this video will be me taking this and decorating it using this kit from Crafty Bee Design Studio. I am a rep for her, but this week my theme is fairy tales, and just this set just felt so fitting for a fairy tale spread. So it's going to be a little different for me. We'll see how it goes, but I'm really excited. I'm going to set this to a little bit of music, so I'm not talking throughout the whole thing. But then once I start actually filling out the planner, I'll come back on here and talk. So enjoy. All right, so here is the final spread. So what happens next is I need to fill in the labels and put the highlights in to separate all the boxes. These are the highlighters I'm using this month. So I'm just stick with the pink and green ones. Stick with pink and green here too. All right, so this is where I write down my meals. This is my little meal planning area. I'll write down like what I have in the fridge for like proteins and major foods, and we'll do that. This is where I'm going to write down what I want to feel this week, so meals and feels. And then this is where I write down what books I am reading. On this side, I write down my focus and my nightly routine. All right, my focus areas are I have a director role, as well as an advising role at work. I'm also a professor and a podcaster. I do coaching through my Patreon. And then I am doing PR for a couple shops. And then I have my home category. So here's going to write down my key focus in these areas for the week. And I'll do all the writing in green. So keep that pink and green going. All right, and then here, I'll walk you through. All right, at the top, I'm going to do, this is my to-do list. And then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do 6 boxes down. And that's every day. Then my next category is where I plan my Instagram, my social media. It's really social media, but I put IG because that's so much less to write than the whole word social media. And then the next category, I guess I'll do it. The next category is my schedule. So that one gets 3 boxes. This one's going to get 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is where I'll write down any appointments that I have so I know when I need to be where. And the next category at the bottom is just notes. This is where I just write down whatever miscellaneous things I need to remember. So I'm going to do that for all the days now. Then this side's a little different. So on this side, I do the to-dos, and it's the weekend, so I'm happy to have a smaller to-do list. There's only 5 items. And then here, I do 1 line, but I actually do 2 posts on weekend days for the Instagram or social media, including Facebook. And I just kind of eyeball that halfway. And again, here's the schedule. I usually don't have quite as many appointments on the weekends. And lastly, notes. And then the last step would be to label. So, to do, schedule, Instagram, or it is really, as I say, it's social media, but I'm just, IG's so much easier, and then notes. And of course, it's my planner. I don't have to label these sections. I know what they are. I just like to. All right. So now I am officially set for the week. And this is my catch-all planner. So what you're going to end up seeing me do is fill this out with the protein and the things that are in the house, what I want to feel this week, what books I'm reading. And then one big thing for each of these categories, sometimes 2 or 3, but just a few things, and then my evenings. And then here, what you'll really see me do is I'm going to plan in some of my other planners. I have a social media planner, so I'll plan in that, and then I'll move over here to what needs to be done, because this planner actually walks around with me, while the other 5 or 6 or 7 planners that I use on a fairly recent basis stay in the house. And so I fill those out, and then I put on here what needs to happen on specific days. There'll be my to-do lists, particularly these are usually for my job, and then a little bit of life. I'll leave the bottom ones for teaching and life. Instagram, the schedule, anything that has a time, I actually put on a shared calendar with my husband. So I will use my Google, or at this point it's really my iCal, but it's merged with Google anyway. I'll use that calendar to fill out the schedule for each day, and then the notes I'll just fill in as I need for the week. So I'm going to show you that in well, just a few moments. Welcome back. It's officially Monday. I'm going to show you how I fill out most of my planner on Monday, and then how I use it throughout the week. All right, so this is my catch-all planner, and as you can see, I've got it set up. This is my fairy tale week, so it highlights for me the week that I'm doing. It starts on a Monday, ends on a Sunday in this planner. And you can see I have areas for my meals. So this is where I remind myself what is in my fridge for proteins and vegetables mainly. So this week I know we've got some apple sausage that has been pulled out. I think we have salmon. And then I'll have to look and see what else we want. If we want chicken, pork, beef, we got all the all the different categories of food in our freezer. And then I know we have some cherry tomatoes. I know we have sweet potato. We have, I think we have some beets. And we definitely have chard. We'll have to see what else. So I just write down what we have. And then when it comes to mealtime, my husband and I right now are every other day being in charge. So I'm Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's Mondays and Wednesdays. And then we will cook over the weekend, but we tend to do it together. All right, then what do I want to feel this week? I usually just pull up a feelings wheel, which I'll show you picture in picture right here. I pull up that wheel, I look at how I want to feel, and I go from there. I think maybe this week what I would like to feel is a little bit of, I'm going to go with awe, something that I'm hoping something inspires me this week. So I'm going to say awe. And then I look at all the books that I'm reading this week. I use Goodreads for this section to keep me on track because I'm always reading quite a few things at once. I also use my calendar because if I have a book club this weekend, then I got to read that book club. But I don't have a book club this weekend, at least not an additional book club. I have one that meets pretty much every week. Okay, so for that one, for the book club that meets every week, we're reading the Book of Life by Deborah Harkness, and we're reading A Woman Is No Man. And I can't remember the author of that one right now, so let me see if I can look that up. Looks like it's half room, or rum is the last name. And then I am with a friend reading the 12 Topsy-Turvy Very Messy Days of Christmas. We tried to read it at Christmas, and neither of us could get the book in time, so when it came up, we just chose to read it. So far, it's been very cute. It's a Patterson book that he co-wrote with someone else. I'm reading Broken Horses, which is the memoir by Brandi Carlile. I'm just reading that one by myself. And then I'm also reading Sorrow and Starlight, which is like the 7th or 8th book, I think 8th book in a series. I think there's also going to be a 9th book in, and I'm annoyed by that. So I'm reading that one just super slowly because the 9th book isn't out yet, and kind of like don't want a lot of time to go between the books. And then I need to start a book called Sign Here. And then there's actually a couple others that I should be starting, but I'm probably not going to start those this week, but I will try and start Sign Here. All right. The other side is my focus and my evenings. I like to start with my evenings just because they're a little easier. Just looking at my calendar here. Monday, I have choir, so I know that. And then Thursday, I have a math placement workshop that I'm doing. Call that a WS for workshop. Then on Saturday, it's not even in the evenings, like Saturdays just become, like in here I just write what I have Saturday and Sunday. But on Saturday where I'm doing, I think it's called Soichi Sushi, which is a Michelin star restaurant in San Diego, which I'm super excited by. And then I do have book club, the Camden Town Book Club, as we call ourselves. Of course, you can't tell that because I can't write, but it's all right. All right, then Friday, I do have a call with my parents, and then I'll just get to spend time with my husband. Wednesday will need to be, I need to edit a video, so I'll just put YouTube. And then Tuesday, I need to edit my podcast. All right, so that way I just know what I need to be doing in the evenings when I am not working. All right, then my focus tends to come next. You can see I've written in the categories. I just write down 1 or 2 things that I know that I need to be doing. So for my job as an advisor, I need to be pushing Spring 2. As the director, I need to be working on actually the summer schedule. As a professor, I just need to say new class and then grade, of course. So podcaster, this is the week of our 100th episode. So I'm just going to put 100th episode and then just edit because that's what needs to happen. But there's some extra stuff for this 100th episode I need to do. For my coaching, I want to really keep focusing on my emotions class, which unfortunately I'm not going to have a lot of time for this week, but that's okay. For PR, I just need to make sure I get my posts in. I don't think there's any sales coming up this next weekend, so just need to make sure I do my posts and my reels. And then at home with the husband, there's nothing really specific this week. But I do want to like get a Valentine's Day card for my husband, because we're not going to get to spend the actual day together. Okay, so that's that first page. Really just helps me hone in and focus. Kind of a one pager. I can just look at that when I need some inspiration. You can see there's also a shopping list and things I'm loving, and some reflections for last week, which I haven't done, but I want to try and do those. All right, so the next thing I do is I tend to look at my schedule. I like to look at my calendar and see what all I need to do. This hard part is a little hard because my calendar is on the device that is recording. So I have an 11 o'clock today. And I have choir in the evening. Okay, Thursday at 1700, I have the math placement workshop. And at 11 o'clock, we have a weekly meeting on the military education program. Looks like on Tuesday, I have an 8:15 appointment for my dog. So I got to drop her off to have some dental work done. And then I'm pretty sure 9 o'clock, I have a lunch and learn session. At 11 o'clock, I have a professional staff congress meeting. And at 1 o'clock, I have a President's Advisory Council meeting. That day is just, whew. Then on Friday, I have a meeting, I don't know what they're calling this, some sort of online review process meeting. Then after that, I'll record another episode of my podcast. I have my parents, call with my parents. All right, there may be some additional things that I'm missing, but they're not showing up on my desktop. They're just going to be on the calendar here. But I have like little meetings with students here and there, but I don't want to write their names down. So this is probably a little better for me, but that way you can see my process. What you haven't seen is my what's happened off camera. So what's happened off camera at this point, in order to fill out the rest of this, I have 4 other planners that help me do that. So let me show you what I've done off camera. So here is my social media planner, and I'm using and social. So I have scheduled out when I need to do what on my social media, and now I can transfer this onto here. And I know it's silly to kind of write everything down twice, but like sometimes I just need to be able to focus on one thing at a time, and my catch-all becomes really overwhelming for me. So I found having these separate places where I can write down, okay, these are the things, this is just this week what I have to do for my PR and social media. And if I can get it down that way, it doesn't feel as overwhelming. I've taken what all of this is down to 3 at most posts a day, and then I can transfer that onto here. So while this is certainly more inspirational to me, this is my to-do, get it done list. All right, so let me write down what is essentially on here. And here's the weekend, but I have to double check the time, but this is when I'm going to the sushi place. And then this is the Camden Town Book Club. Those are the only things that I'm aware of for those days. And you can see there are places to write. So I will go ahead and actually put these dates in. This is kind of a squirrel moment that just happened. There we go. All right. Then I only do 2 Instagram posts on the weekends. I know more people are on there and I should probably like switch that, but it's just what works for me because I try not to be on as much. So now I have my Instagram posts, social media posts done. Then the to-do section I focus on the things that I need to do, mainly for work. The work gets the first like 4 to sometimes all 6, and then the bottom 2 are more personal, more additional things that may need to happen. So this Thursday is episode 100. And of my podcast, so it's going to be a huge promotion day. I also need to remind myself to do some special stuff for that on the evening in which I edit the podcast. All right. So let's start with the next thing I've done off camera, and that is, this is my teacher planner. So I've written down all the things that I need to do in terms of grading and lectures. And so the first thing that I can write down is that I have to do my lectures today. Those go up in each of my classrooms. Then we're going to do some grading. So just have to figure out what day I want to do which grading. Sometimes things take longer than others. All right, so I do have to set up a classroom today because it needs to be set up by here. So that part's done. So I'm just writing down what classes I want to grade and when. Okay, so that's everything with that. So I don't write down all the details. So this is going to help me with all the details, help me remember what I'm doing in each of my classes. But this tells me which day I'm going to do the grading and the next steps. Last but not least, I have this planner, which is my work planner, where I have written out all the things that I need to do this week. I also have a meeting that I lead, so I write down all the things that I want to talk about in that meeting, usually in the sidebar, but sometimes someplace else. So now I'm going to take all of these things that are written down here, this is just essentially a really pretty brain dump, and now I'm going to schedule them here so that they all get done during the week. So these are the big things that I've written down. It's not everything. And you can see like there's still space. And the reason for that is things are going to come up throughout the week that I still need to work on and get in here, follow up with students, etc. And so I do tend to leave some space, particularly on Fridays. Fridays are kind of my wrap-up day. So the nice thing about Friday, though, is I can do I always like to plan for the future. Plan for the future, plan next week. So I always write that down. It's kind of a decorative day. And then anything else that might come up, I tend to circle things throughout the week. I check in on this, etc. So as you can tell, most of the week is now done, but not everything. So I will continue to look and add to this throughout the week as things come up. And as that happens every day, I will jump on here and let you know what I've added, what it looks like, so you can really see my process of this planner. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye. All right, it's now actually Friday, And I just thought I would show you some of my progress. As you can see, I've made some notes. I realized that it's one thing to write down what I'm going to say, or like I should say what I'm going to post, but sometimes I need a bit more specificity, so I'm going to have to figure out where I'm going to put that specificity. I think I'll probably end up putting it here in my planner for initially figuring out what I'm doing in social media. But I ended up putting some notes and stuff down here so I could remind myself like what I was doing. And really I just added some different things that I needed to do as they came up. So I had a lot more appointments come up. And then you'll see things that are circled. So what's circled means that Tuesday came and Tuesday went, and I didn't get that done. And so Wednesday came, and those are things that didn't get done. Thursday came, those things didn't get done. Friday came, and I can just tell you, my email's not going to get done. I'm working on planning next week right now. I have a Patreon video to edit, those things. And then this ended up being some notes for a meeting that I had today. And then this is my Saturday and Sunday. As you can see, I have not yet filled out my to-do list. I can tell you now, let's see, I have a video to edit for Monday. That will be, I think, this video. Let's see. Again, this is my social media. Oops. All right. So Monday's going to be a plan with me for Valentine's Day, but then, okay, that's good. And then the next video on Friday is when you will see everything that I am talking about right now. So Saturday and Sunday, I tend to not plan as heavily or as ahead of time. But it looks like everything's going to be working out, so I'll be able to do my workout tomorrow. And then I'm going to edit. I have to decide if I want to try, and I have my Patreon video here. Maybe I'll get that done. So I'll just write edit video. And we're going to put edit video here. And we'll see which one it is, because I've got two that I need to edit no matter what. So we'll see how that goes. And that is really me catching you up onto how I've used this so far this week. I will come back on here on Saturday if I write something interesting and I am able to do that. And then on Sunday for sure, where I'll go over my weekly reflection and actually start to look at next week. Next week is Valentine's Day week. And yeah, that's it for now. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Well, we've officially made it to Sunday. Sundays are the days where if I have the time, I write this out. And then I start to do the process all over again. I use my other planners to write out my schedule. And I use my other planners to do my brain dumps. And then I come back on here and write out the things I need to do. Usually on Monday, though sometimes on Sunday. It just depends on how the week goes. But one of the things I've been wanting to do that I haven't done very consistently is this weekly reflection section. So I'm going to just go ahead, pull this out here. Okay, the highlight of my week. What is the rose of my week? And I think that is going to have to be for me this Michelin star sushi restaurant. So I'm just going to write sushi. And then I'm going to write a little star. There we go. because that was so amazing. I could go on. This video would be like forever long if I told you about all the things we had and how amazing it was. But it was so much fun to be with my friends and be with my husband and to eat fish I had never eaten before, prepared by a chef who obviously knows his craft or her craft, but I do think in this case it was a guy. Yeah, it was amazing. And I loved it. And you can see up here it says Soichi, but that's not actually where we ended up. It was Tarokoro. So a slightly different place, but still so good. What is an emerging opportunity? Ooh, okay, that's a good question. Gosh, it's so hard. Okay, let's skip that one for a moment and go to the thorn. For me, I really realized that it's not enough for me just to say what type of post I'm gonna do each day. I actually really need to think more through what I want to post, and I gotta figure out how to do that. Like if I need a different planner for that, because I've been using this planner for my social media. You know, this week I definitely have more space to write than I do in some other weeks. I just don't know if it's enough. So I really have to, that's going to be my challenge. My challenge for myself is figuring out, I'm just going to write down social media planning. Because I haven't figured out yet what I want to do and how I want to do it. Now I could also see that as my emerging opportunity, but I want to, I really do see those as different. So my emerging opportunity for me is like looking ahead and thinking about what happened this week that's gonna put me ahead or forward for next week. And so for me, I think my emerging opportunity is actually about teaching. I have a 6th class that starts next week. And it really is an opportunity for me to, again, teach that class the way I want to be, being the professor I want to be. So I'm just going to write University of Maryland Global Campus. P100 class. That is my opportunity that's coming up. And so far I've set myself up for success, so I'm really excited about that. All right, and that ends this video because now you can really see how I have used my Silk and Sonder all week. So we've got the meals. Did pretty well with some of these, did all of these. We still have lots of cherry tomatoes and lots of chard, also because we got more this week. I finished the 12 topsy-turvy, very messy days of Christmas, which is super fun. And I did start sign here. I'm already over a quarter of the way through with that, so that's exciting. Did I feel awe this week? I don't know if I did. I didn't feel negatively this week. I'm just not sure that I experienced, well, you know what? I think maybe I did because that was, I mean, the sushi was just awesome. And I definitely felt awe then. All right. For some of these things, I was able to make some movement on the schedule. Didn't really do as much of a push as I needed to in the advising. New class and my grading, I got to those things. My 100th episode. If you follow me on my Instagram, you definitely heard about that. That's so exciting. I'll probably say more about that today. I didn't get to work too much on my emotions class. but I certainly talked about it with some people, so that's good. I did my posts and my reels, and this one still needs to be done, so we'll get on that. And then the evening stuff, like all of this did work out, so that was good. Then you can see the circled things are things that I will go ahead and put on my brain dump when I go for that for my work planner. Then you can also see, I can show you like what I was able to get done. I did get all of these done. Some good notes there. Got those done. I've got this done. So this reel is the last thing I need to do for the week, and my catch-all will be complete. I have a currently page to do, so that's kind of exciting. And then here is next week. I'll just go ahead and walk you through it. It's Valentine's Day week, so I've got my Valentine's spread. These are, I believe, Planny-Thing stickers. So cute. And then these are some Simply Gilded editions. All right. And then I've actually done the following too for my California love. That's the theme. And then you do get the following week. I probably, however, will not use this one for that because the majority of the week is in March. Woo! Can't believe March is coming up. But it'll depend on when I get the next planner. So I'm set either way. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please let me know. This is the first time I've ever walked someone through this way. And I encourage you, if you haven't yet, to hit subscribe so you know when my videos fall. They actually fall every Friday and Monday, or Monday and Friday, depending on how you want to look at it. You can also follow me on Instagram at megan.fackenthal. You can check out my Patreon group for more content. They get at least one video a month, and then a lot more like kind of emotions-focused coaching. And yeah, thank you so much. If you're still here listening to my whole spiel, have a fabulous week and a wonderful weekend. And I will talk to you later. Bye.